Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Kirusho here, and now, before I do get started, let me give a brief little review. In the last part, we had a lot of things going on. Bakugo and Deku, the two of them are planeswalkers. And Ochako, she has finished that process with a ritual and awakened as a planeswalker herself. Now, it took her about a month, but she is finally back in the action, just in time for the Battle of Granola to begin. Now, Deku and Bakugo, they parted ways to try and figure things out with two different situations. Deku didn't feel like he had the strength to fight Druso, so he hunted down a clan of white dragons and even ended up sparing one since she seemed to be living a more human lifestyle. She taught her children how to take on a human form, and she even maintained one and didn't seem to be feral like her clan members, like her family. They were animalistic and feral, quite brutal in fact. And from what he does understand, she was the exact opposite of what he expected. She was kind, gentle, cared for her children, and even was willing to die for them. Completely unlike the feral beast he knows about thanks to his draconic knowledge. Now, meanwhile, Bakugo had to deal with the blob of annihilation and hunting it down in the Beastlands. And Izuku, he even managed to do a lot more. He was intrigued about what he found out. He's still going over the information and trying to get it all sorted out. But we do cut to later. A lot of people do sit around a table, and they have been talking. They've gone over much. Among them are the dragons, the heroes, and the party members, along with the Queen of Granola, the woman who has seen this nation become bigger and flourish more thanks to not only a hero's influence, but people of the past. And right now, Deku, he does somewhat pick at the feast that has been laid on this table. All of them are a little on edge. It's a night before a grand battle, but that battle is going to be taking place in these very walls. It's going to be taking place in this very city. It might cost many their lives. People have evacuated. Some didn't like that the queen so soon declared that their nation was going to be under siege. But others, they were quite happy to have the chance to run like hell for the hills and pay adventurers to take them out of the city. But there currently is Izuku, who does go to put down his fork and express. Right. Other than what he told them earlier, that's all he really does know. That's interesting. Deku looking over at Atrake. Well now, this could become a problem. It could. But you see why I'm trying to get it all figured out. Yes, I do. So, you're way above us in power. This Druso guy, he's what? I don't know. He's coming here, but we have suspicions of a few other things. It is quite bad. Usin Druso, he's alive. Yes, Queen Lillian. Theodore, what does one say? I was hoping to avoid this matter with you. It is not something I think the people of Granola would be much appreciative of, if they heard about it before. It isn't just that, but with what we might be dealing with, York was under siege and they didn't fare too well. Peter's going to express. Yes, from what she has still heard, they're still rebuilding. The city was full of hundreds of thousands of warriors, and even then, they still suffered quite a bit of damage. If this man is coming with the intent to destroy Granola, they'll destroy it. But one thing that they're concerned about is, what about those beasts? Yeah, I was able to take out the blob. I banished the phoenix, but that was really it. The other thing I had to hit with judgment, and even then, the others, they're powerful. He didn't have many people there. That one guy tried to challenge me, but that was really it. The succubus, she got away. Surprising and try sleeping with it. Deku going to roll his eyes at Ochako, talking about it. Okay, and when did she become involved in his personal life? I'm just saying, I've heard a few things already. Her glancing over at Indra. And Indra, she does go to express. Like she said before, a lot of things that are going on don't pertain to that. Why is she so curious? I'm not curious. I'm just trying to make sure he's not being an idiot. He's been reckless since he got back. Besides, somehow it just keeps working out for him. Yeah, and you keep playing it safe. Him looking directly at her. And she does get somewhat shrink a bit as is turned to everyone else. Listen, we can't afford to play it safe. I think we all know that. When the battle begins, a lot's happening. The guards are already working on fortifying a lot of things. Right now, the commanders are dealing with all of that. But we all know that if something gets past the gates, then it can harm a lot of people. I'm willing to hire adventurers with the money I have. Get them here and do that immediately. Are you sure? If I do need to, I'll go directly to King Drutha. I know some Onis who would like a battle. I'm sure that man would be interested. I can start doing that tomorrow morning. But that's my only other concern. How all this might go. It's not even just that. May I intervene? All of them looking towards Atri. One of the dragons that does not sit there. Him going to express. When the battle does begin, he would love to see Druso. This man is an old friend of his. He has not seen him in over 2 decades. If he is as powerful as Izuku is saying, then it's going to be a bad idea to face him. I don't think you can face him. You say that, but I need to confirm it for myself. Yeah, get in line. Everything Theodore told me doesn't add up. And everything you've shown me pisses me off more. I'm sorry, but if you want your shot at him, you're going to need to get in line. Besides, there's a lesser deity I think you're going to want to fight. Huh. Davrum. I've heard of the story of this creature, but only from a mortal standard. Attain divinity on the mortal plane. Yes, I've heard of the creature, though it does have my attention as a powerful combatant. Something to test my strength on. It should. If there's any other creatures like what's been popping up, then we need to get them done. I hate to say it, you two, but after this battle, we need to get both of you trained up. I know. I've been out of it for a minute. Yeah. Though, what do you think we'll get? I don't know. I mean, I haven't really tested out my power yet, but I'll give it a test draft tomorrow. And that's about it. Other than that, I just have the dragon shards and the points to spend. How many points do you have? I have a lot. Of course you do. Have you spent any yet? I haven't. I spent some earlier today, but that was about it. After that, I just kind of thought about a few things. Plus, I've been trying to handle this all out today. Getting you and then trying to get people prepared for this attack has been just a little busybodying, you know? I get it. Trust me, I'm sure it has been. But I do have one other concern. Can we even trust you when the battle begins? Last time you saw that guy, you two duked it out. That Zagul guy nearly got me. But do you think that you'll be able to handle him? I don't know. Deku crossing his arms, speaking truthfully. Last time I was able to bloody his nose. That was about it. This time, I want to say I have a better advantage. What level did you face me when you had that skill? Level 4. But at the same time, my stats didn't go up by 100 points. Holy shit. 100? Yeah. Is that? Nope. The Planeswalker boost doubles that. So it's 200. Yup. Her staring at Deku. And for a minute, she's trying to calculate how powerful he might be. The punch he threw at Bakugo? I mean, the strength back then? If he's far ahead of that now, and that empowerment ability of his is... Oh shit. Her thinking about it. A punch from Deku might actually cause a lot of damage. He probably does have the best chance of defeating him. But she doesn't want to feel weak on this. Should she upgrade her chaos magic? No, she shouldn't do that. Though she is interested in a few other ideas. She'll have to think on that later. Her and Bakugo both look up from their screens as Deku, he does go to express. Right. He thinks that they should upgrade now and then talk about it. Though, right now he just needs to be alone with his thoughts. Him going to stand and going to walk over towards the window, stepping outside for a minute as he does open the door. Right now him going to make his way onto the balcony as they just want to sit there quietly at the table. Queen Lillian going to look down and process this meeting. Usin Druso is alive. I mean, she's heard stories about that man from her grandfather. The man who died for his country. A man who was noble, kind, sweet, ruthless to his enemies, but her turning towards Deku. And she does get to look out that window, thinking about exactly what he is. The similarities between the two. They're quite apparent. Are you alright? Her turning, looking up to see Ochako. You're looking into space a bit. It is a pleasure to meet you. It's nice to meet you as well, Queen Lillian. Are you okay? I'm a little rattled by this meeting, is all. I believe I need some personal time to think about it. Her standing, going to turn to Ochako and inform her. Please inform Izuku, if possible, if it's not too much trouble, that she is going to be in her quarters. She is going to just take some time to process information, and if there's her turning, walking away as her eyes are somewhat glazed over. It's gotta be hard for her. Her turning and watching as she has to walk over to Theodore, talking with him as she has a turned intrigue who does just want to sit there digging into the food with the dragons. And right now, Deku, we do cut back to him. He does try to think about a lot. His hands are on the balcony. He does stare out at the remaining lights of this city. It's beautiful. But tomorrow this place might be either a crater or covered in flames. The very steps he sits. The very place he's standing may not even be there. It's just like one of those nightmares. Just like one of those things that Curse showed him. He'll be battling off against that man. He'll be on the back foot, his throat will be sliced, and then it will be over. All he'll hear is the maniacal laughter as he takes out someone close to and dear to him. That dream has changed a lot over the years. It does tend to pop up, but if that man gets into the walls of this castle, he's going to murder Lillian. No, he is not about to let that happen. He is going to kill Usindruso and take his head. This one is mind. And it can be seen quite clearly from Indra. Deku's eyes are pouring with power, pouring with his spiritual energy. And she does bring a hand onto his shoulder. Him turning his gaze as his eyes do still show the anger. You'll get your chance. Him stepping out of it. I know. I don't like the waiting. No one does. Do you think that they're going to beat us? I don't know. I want to say they're not expecting me to be as strong as I am, but I'm not sure. If they have a way to track the divine, then we might be fucked. Why are you thinking like that? Because they didn't expect me to be broken from my curse. They didn't expect me to be alive. This time they are. The fact that they felt Bakugo awaken and they attacked him by Topia, that's already bad enough. If they think he's missing this time, that's good. If when a planeswalker dies, that massive burst is released, I don't know what they might think. Ochako and Bakugo feel similar in my head, but I don't think they could be mistaken for each other. Not from an outsider, no. Him turning towards her, and she has to confirm what he's thinking. All of them feel weird, but different weird. They might feel similar, but that might be a part of it. Right. I know that. I'm just worried about tomorrow. I'm trying to occupy my mind with something and it's not working. Her nodding her head, going to move in a little closer and bring a hand up to Deku. Her going to turn and look at the side of his neck for a second. What? What is it? You're growing scales. Him bring up a hand, going to reach up and grab his neck. Am I? I thought it was just my imagination, but it's not even that. Your horns. I knew they got larger, but did you get something new? Him looking down, opening his rewards tab and clearing the notifications away. Challenge complete. Slay 3 adult dragons. In quick succession in their lair. Challenge complete. Overtake a dragon lair. Challenge complete. Kill 3 ancient dragons. Challenge complete. Deku pushing past the notifications, as he does see some of them were time trials, and that does seem a little funny to him. Though he does go to take some of the experience from claiming the rewards, the ones he apparently didn't already accept from the earlier quest. And right now, he does get to see that he does get to stare at a notification again. Cosmetic unlocked. You have taken in significant dragon souls. The portions you have obtained have begun to show physical mutations through your cosmetic. You have attained dragon scales, along with draconic blood. 30% of your body is comprised of scales. And because your soul is 30% of dragon's essence, you may see these mutations pop up and stay within the next couple days. Him clearing that away. A little annoyed, but surprised. At least his reward wasn't a tail. You alright? I'm fine, Deku's staring at the rewards. He has 12 draconic shards. And then there's 5 different rewards. That's different. Tempest. What does that do? Him going to hover over it as he does begin to get a description. Tempest. You have slain significant creatures of ice magic. With your high proficiency in ice and water magic, you do have the capabilities of becoming a living storm. Not just any storm. The Tempest is the strongest storm there is. Cover the area in snow, ice, water. Mix and combine the elements. Become the very storm that your enemies will have trouble approaching. Deku staring at another line. It talking about a new ability from this one. This one has 2, 3. Wait a second. While the storm is active and this ability is used, once per day you can create an area where your opponents are significantly weakened to the effects of cold damage. Your abilities are also increased. Create an area similar in radius to a lair for you in the storm. Him looking at that, and he does get to stare at it. Create a lair? Okay, so that's incredible. He can turn Granola into a lair and then make them... That's definitely an interesting ability. But there's there's so much to it. I mean, Izuku? Yeah, sorry. There are powerful rewards, and I just looked at one of them. Is there? Oh, what do you mean? I mean, I wish I could show you this. I saw it before. I focused on what you've told me before, and it showed up. I wanted something powerful, and I got it. Really? Him turning towards her. And she does nod her head. As Deku, he does a look back down as she does a bring a hand up and go to grab him by his shirt, informing him. Okay, maybe tonight is not the night for him to be looking through that thing and trying to prepare for tomorrow. Tonight should be a night for celebration and preparation, and she does know the perfect way to calm some nerves before battle. Him going to smile and shake his head a little madly. The two could be making their way away as people do watch them leave quickly. Atrig going to roll his eyes a bit annoyed at the table before he turns to Besla, and she does a playfully jab towards him, talking about it. It does look like they may have a clutch soon. him groaning out with some noise. However, it does sound a little bit more bestial whenever it is to come through his maw. Now, there is later. Deku, he does go to wake up. He feels better, though it's one of those nights. The moonlight streaming into his room as he does try to think about it, bringing up his hand and wondering. Tomorrow. Tomorrow he'll see Druso and finally enact his revenge. Take him on. He needs to figure that all out. Deku going to look down and begin to try and sort out his spending points. As he does decide to upgrade himself completely. He needs to spend money to make money. He thinks that's how that saying goes. But right now he's gotta spend points to whatever, to kill the fucker. That's all he really does know. Right now, him going to look over everything before going back over to that rewards tab. It's gonna be something. But he does want to learn so much more about these. Okay. Fury of the Fallen Dragons. Him staring at that. Once per day, release all the power dragons wielded in life. Ability is similar to your unique skill, Spirit. However, one caveat is it will drain draconic empowerment levels. Levels can be regained when the manifested creatures are slain. Important note. Sacrificial Pact is an easy way to regain draconic empowerment levels. Him looking down and seeing that the second ability in this power, it's called Sacrificial Pact. He can dispel the energy, but he can also reabsorb it and holy shit, gain a temporary stat increase. Him going to stare at that, clicking on it and watching this one expand and inform him about this. Would he like a preview as to how this ability does work? It will cost him 1 draconic shard. Him staring at that before he does get to press it. And he does get to watch this ability unfold before his very eyes. Him surprised. His vision does it a fade. And then it does it open at Atrig's lair. Him firing it off at Theodore. It looks like a... wow. Holy shit. His vision going to fade back in as it finds himself back in this room. And he does go to look towards Draconic Rage. Dragon Rage. Become invulnerable for 1 hour. That already is showing off the level of these powers. Damage is reduced by 90%. Body glows with a wrathful aura. Warning. Aura is harmful and is considered to be the natural power and facsimile of this ability. As long as your rage is not quelled, you are invulnerable. Important note. Rage builds with this power. If you are angry, you will grow in strength. The angrier, the better. Him staring at that. Okay. That already is dangerous. He's got a pretty good handle on his own temper. But he already knows how he feels about Druso. If he sees that man tomorrow with this ability, The idea is somewhat causing goosebumps to rise up Deku's back, though he does go to turn, finding Indra's claws as she does this. Someone ask him if he's alright. Yeah, sorry. I'm I'm going over the skills. These are powerful. Really? Yeah, let me read you the next reward. Dragon Lordship. Gain immunity for 10% of damage each time you slay a dragon of elements. Gain the ability to subjugate a dragon once per day. Seriously? Yeah. I mean, that alone sounds powerful. Deku continued to read the description of it. And then there is the third component to that one. Order. You're going to be able to order around dragons you have in servitude. That's alarming him. That sounds a bit like slavery. He'll look at the fifth one, looking back down to Dragon's Fierce Aura. And he does get to read the description. 3 times per day can release the full power of the aura. Aura can kill normal people. People who would be considered level 1 adventurers. Draconic Burst can release the powerful attacks from aura similar to a burst strike. Aura is able to bypass resistances to cause damage. Spiritual damage is stackable. Him looking at that, it can bypass resistances, but not immunities. That is still powerful. Though, getting a preview of that one, maybe him's going to click on it and watching as it doesn't stand there right now. Him going to look around as is a turn and go to flex the aura. It acting like a burst of magical energy as it watches the area around him get caught up in what looks like destruction magic. Though he does get the immense pressure coming off of it. The weight is to feel. That it's insane. And he does it watch as a threat in front of him, Zagul, surprisingly, he is torn apart by the magic. Him being evaporated away by the attack. Though he does going to sit up and start regenerating. Deku, seeing the walking skeleton, regrow parts. Now, he does go to stare at that. That would be good, but he wouldn't be able to use those once per day abilities. He already didn't like the Fallen Dragon one, but the other ones are good. One's too dangerous, one he doesn't like, and the others, yeah, he's gonna go with the one he likes. Him picking that ability, and when he doesn't accept it, he does go to feel the power swell in his body before it does go to vanish. Him going to turn as Indra does go to ask him, so what did he get? Hopefully you'll see it tomorrow. Though I'm not telling. Come on. Really? Well, two can play this game. You're not telling me what you got from the Archfey. Okay. And that's fun. It's fun when you do it, but now I can see your point. It is fun whenever I do it. Oh, come on. You're talking about draconic powers. Something that you got from slaying those creatures. Okay, I get that. Izuku, you're coming into a realm of power that not many people have seen. Besides, you have me curious. Fine. I'll let you know tomorrow. Her going to smack him in the arm. As Deku, he does go to lay back down, and she does go to lay down next to him. The two enjoying the silence, the peace. In Izuku, he does feel a little bit of anxiety. It's too quiet. There's nothing happening. And tomorrow morning, he's got to go get a bunch of warriors to protect this town. It's quite ironic. But he's fairly certain that for the right price he can hire them. Though, that'll be another story entirely. Okay. Him finally fading into sleep. And there is where he does gonna wake up the next morning. Early. Right now him jumping up out of bed as he does a turn. Aerodos being the one standing there talking about how he needed to get people up. Correct? Huh? Up here. To this town? That's correct. Him manifesting his cloak as it does mean to cover him. It going to wrap around him and form into clothes. As he does fully get out of bed and stand. Asking if there was somewhere she wanted him to go. Yes, my village. If that would be possible. Many of our warriors there are good. Along with that, I believe they would be of adequate level to help you. That works. Her nodding, before she's to fall to a knee and confess. She does have her own motive for this as well. She is trying to restore your family's honor. I get it. Right now, honor in battle is what you do crave, correct? Her looking up, surprised and nodding her head. Trust me, I've heard a lot about that. You don't need to tell me. Now, if we can go, that would be nice. And the dragon? She'll be out for a little bit longer. She likes to sleep a little late. Though I can't blame her. She's going to need all the rest she can. Her nodding her head and informing him. The two going to walk out as she does begin to start trying to describe her homeland. And when they do to finally go to a room with a map, people, they are already standing there. Some Deku hasn't seen before. Others, he seems like they are familiar. He does a turn seeing a woman carrying a battle axe and a large grin. Him staring at her as she's had to turn, and he doesn't recognize that savage grin from the tournament. He does get a turn, and he may see an old man, who does gonna walk up as Deku does see Voss. The old man bowing his head and holding his hands up to Izuku, informing him, "Congratulations on passing Theodore." Voss, Deku bowing his head. "It's nice to see you again, old-timer." "Nice to see you. Though you've, wow, gotten quite strong." "How are you doing?" "Better. Spiritually?" I'm doing a bit better. Though, yes, I've been made aware. Trust me, it has not been good." Bakugo and Ochako both popping in with a group of warriors. As Deku does get a turn and stare at that, King Drutha and the champion walking up. As the man does gonna bring a hand up and go to clasp arms with Deku. Him announcing that it's quite nice to see the young man again. But exactly what is going to be happening here? Deku turning to the other person. The man does a glare at the Oni that he does go to see. The person walking away as I turn back to Deku. Him bring up an arm as Deku does a let go of Drutha's and clasp his. Him trying to squeeze Deku's arm as Deku does look the man directly in the face, squeezing a little bit harder as the man does squeeze back harder. And the two, they do get to stare each other down. Ruta going to stare at this as the two do continue to increase in strength. And there is with the Oni, he does go to finally stop increasing in strength. Deku going to look the man dead in the face and continue to squeeze harder. Harder. A little bit harder, and then giving a firm squeeze. The man letting out a grunt of pain as Deku does finally let go, and the man does lower his head in a nod. I see. Yes, fighting by your side would be worthy. But I told you before, boy, he is a powerful warrior. Or have you not been keeping up with what he's done? Yes, father. Understood. Him turning back and expressing. He does not. Listen, we don't have time for that. I understand your customs. I understand a few things that I probably don't fully understand. But right now, we've got a lot to do. Him turning, disappearing as someone does a turn to where, he's gone. This surprising them. And right now, Deku, he does go arrive in the kingdom where his armor and weapons should be. Him popping into the room as an alchemist and an enchanter, they do just don't stand there. Right now, both of them turn their heads and glaring to see the man, who does make their expressions soften up. Him walking over to his gear and looking down at it. Is it ready? Yes. We managed to get the enchantments on last night, but it is quite difficult. Many of us, we've been working around the clock. The king was happy that you picked your enchantments, and he was wanting you to get the best gear as soon as possible. Not all of your gear is fully enchanted yet. The person turning to look away, somewhat expressing. They have had troubles enchanting his longsword. The Nodachi. Yes, the Sword of the West. That blade is already enchanted, and putting on another enchantment, it will take more time. Is the armor fully enchanted? Yes. Each piece has an enchantment that will help it. All of them do have indestructibility enchantments. Really? Wait, so it's tougher? Not necessarily. They will repair themselves if damaged. The enchantment is quite hard to do, and it did take us time to find the proper person who would enchant your adamantine. I see. Yes. It has been applied to most of your gear as well, along with combat enchantments on your swords. And my armor? It does still need to be fully enchanted, but the pieces have the necessary ones that you may need. We've heard of Granala's plight. Have you? Yes. It is going to be under siege. That is what many people do say. I see that with the communication crystals, news gets around faster now. Yes. Those crystals are for certain people. But those who do have access to them, types, they know. Okay. But it's done. It may still need some necessary enchanting. Once you come back, please bring the gear. It will heal on its own in 12 hours. That is one of the major ones. But your blades were easier to enchant. They were just plain. I wouldn't call them plain. Yes, but by the standards that you gave us, they are plain. Okay, and my sword? It's also enchanted as well. I'm sorry. Did you mean the short blade? Please take a breath. Yes. Well, I understand this battle will be important. The man lowering his head and apologizing for not getting everything put on the weapons, nor the armor. Though Deku, he does it a walkover, putting on the gear piece by piece, and he does get to hold up his blades, him examining them and staring at them, before he does go to put them on his weapon belt and then go to fasten it to himself, bringing up his shield and putting it onto his right arm. Thinking about it, the thing definitely does feel a little bit better. He does see the enchantments inscribed on the inside, moving it over to his left hand, grabbing his short blade, his tanto, and then going to stuff it into his weapon belt spot, turning and looking at the Nodachi that does sit on the table. The razor sharp edge of the blade pointed out, and it does get a glow with its silver like hue. Him turning and walking over, asking if they're in the middle of this. No, no, we do like examining the enchantments already on it. I see. Well, I guess that's good. Yes, they are dwarvish, but still quite powerful. Him picking up the weapon and going to holster it. Before he does a turn to the man and nod to him. The man going to watch Deku disappear in an instant. As right now he does going to make a few more visits to some neighboring kingdoms. He does know some warriors who do want to fight. And he does even know of some who would wish to battle him. Orcs and Onis are primarily those kinds of people. And right now, he does go to stop by Erodos's clan. When people do to see someone, random man, pop up in the middle of town with the person they know ran off a long time ago, they're not happy. And one of the chieftains does come walking over. Him going to inform her that she was not to return until something she could prove was done. Deku was staring at the man, who is trying to speak in a language he doesn't think Deku can understand. No, he does go to open his mouth and speak. A long story short, a lot of stuff is happening. He is a Zuko, hero of Lunala, and he came here to see if they wanted to go fight something that might be able to kill all of them. I see. Arrogant, aren't you? Deku going to bring his hands up, and his torso does go to appear to the man. The man looking at Deku for a second and seeing the strong body he's built. It covered in scars as he's a look up back to the man's face. Deku turning his head to show off the dragons that are marking clearly to the man. And he does get a look at this body built of combat. More people beginning to gather around, as Deku does express to the man. Right now, a place is about to be attacked by the Demon Lord's forces, and he was wondering if they wanted to challenge something, or if they were going to sit here like cowards, letting a banished one figure it out for them. She's had more honor than they would carry. And the man does glare at Deku, swinging on him as Deku does take the punch directly to the face. Him going to look at the man as the man's fist, it does go to pull back. Him shaking it off as the skin is torn. And he does get a turn, giving out an order, turning back and bowing his head to Deku since he clearly is strong. And as a turn, glaring at Erodos, saying something to her about how they can discuss these matters later. And she does glare at the man evenly, meeting his gaze as a clan of warriors do come to Deku. Him bringing his hand up, and I'm trying to think about how Bakugo and Ochako did this. I mean, for Astal, they just surrounded them all in. Oh. Him surrounding everybody with the Planeswalker aura, and they do want to feel the strange power running through them. Aerodos grabbing Deku by the shoulder as they all do get a teleport. Right of them appearing in a hall as Deku does a turn, informing these people as to where to go to, and all of them do get a look around. 1 second, they felt the ground under them as dirt. The next, it was a carpeted floor and they were inside of a castle. I mean, a blink and you miss it. And right now, people, they do get to pour into a room. Deku talking about how he's got more warriors for them. And people, they do someone going to stand in the room. Bakugo turning and yelling over the crowd about what's going to be happening. As there is where Atrigue is to bring up his hand and snap his fingers. The massive crack going to catch everyone's attention as Bakugo is going to turn to the man and go to thank him. All of you, listen, we're going to be fighting a great battle today. We don't exactly know the odds, but it's something that's going to need to happen. As far as we're aware, everything today is going to stand on ground. The Demon Lord's forces have threatened the front lines for years, longer than we've been here. Right now we know where they're going to be, here, today, and now. Their attack on Granola is an attack on all living creatures of this plane. I've failed to stop one of them once. I don't intend to do that now. We're all warriors here. And as far as I'm aware, all of us are fighting for something. Be it for blood, be it for money, be it for coin, be it for honor. Right now, all of us are going to fight. Today, Granola will stand. Him going to look over at Deku. And right now the two do both get a smile. Him going to turn his head as Deku does hear a weird sound. And that sound is him making his way over to the large door and going to push his way through the crowd. For Bakugo, as I ask what he's hearing. And people do watch Deku make his way over and stand out on the balcony. As a giant dragon can be seen heading over Granola. And he does a stare at a man who does get to ride it. Him standing on its head as the creature, it does get to fly directly by, and Deku does get to see it circling. The man staring at him, as he does get to see Usin Druso. And right now an event does get to pop up. Deku's rage being replaced by confusion. As the event has one simple title. Event Notice. Prepare for the incursion event of the Tyrant. Please be aware, the Tyrant is a high-level creature, and it is from a different plane of reality. Kill the Tyrant. Deku looking up, and whenever he does look up, he does look around. He doesn't see anything in the distance. He doesn't see anything in the sky with a giant dragon. So, where is the creature? Where is it? Where? Him going to feel a massive burst of aura. Looking back up and watching this creature. As a giant hand does reach through a portal. And it is followed by the massive arm. Him gonna watch as it does crash down to the ground and shake. The ground underneath Deku becoming a bit unstable. And right now the giant creature, it does come stepping through on its other arm. And he does a stare up at the sky and see this. Him feeling both shock and a bit of horror. Since behind it, he recognizes that plane of reality. Now, with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed. And have an amazing day. I'll catch you guys in the next part.